Ready, start. The revision petitioners are the defendants in a suit for specific performance. The first petitioner and the respondents are brothers. The former had obtained a loan of rupees 334 from the latter. While so, on 22/6/1982, an agreement was entered into between them whereby the revision petitioners, who are man and wife, agreed to sell 26.5 cents of land to the respondents for the consideration at the rate of rupees 325%. Out of the total sale consideration of rupees 8,61,000, so due rupees 734 was adjusted towards the loan amount. The total consideration paid and received on the date of agreement was rupees 7,400, and with regard to the balance, provision was made in the agreement. The respondent was also put in possession. In due course, the respondent moved for specific performance and the suit was decreed in his favor on 31/3/1987. It was directed that the plaintiff should pay a sum of rupees 1,212, on receipt of which the defendant should execute the sale deed before 30/6/1987, alleging that the defendants have failed to execute the conveyance on the receipt of the money offered by the plaintiff. Execution petition was filed on 6/8/1986, and in the absence of any objection to the execution petition, the execution of document was allowed as prayed for. During the pendency of EP, the plaintiff deposit the balance amount due to defendants on 11 to 1997. On the next day, that is 12 to 1997, the defendants filed IA number 494/97 on the trial side, invoking section 28 of the Specific Release Act and seeking rescission of the agreement to sale. The application was resisted, and during the pendency of this application, plaintiff filed IA number 1959/97 also on the trial side, seeking condonation of the delay involved in the deposit of the balance sale consideration. The court below considered the two petitions together and passed the impugned order dismissing the defendant's application IA number 494/97 and condoning the delay in the deposit as prayed for in IA number 1959/97. The learned counsel for the revision petitioners submitted that the court below has not approached the question from the proper perspective, and that in absence of any plausible explanation on the part of the plaintiff in not making the deposit of the balance sale consideration within reasonable time, the court below should have upheld rescission of the contract as prayed for IA number 494/97. Case law was also relied on this regard. As regards the contention of the plaintiff deposed to by him when he went to the box, that in the year 1987 he had issued a notice calling upon the defendants to receive the balance sale consideration at the sub registrar's office, and also waited for the defendants there on that day, though in vain. It was argued that there is no documentary evidence adduced in support of the said plea. On behalf of the respondent, herein it was contended that here is a case where the lion's share out of the total sale consideration was received by the vendors on the date of agreement itself, and the plaintiff was also given possession of the property on the date of agreement, and that the consequence of the allowing IA number 494/97 would be upsetting the long possession held by the plaintiff for the past 18 years. It is also argued that the defendants did not take any steps for getting the balance of sale consideration through any petition and even failed to seek rescission at any time until the plaintiff moved for execution of the sale deed through court on deposit of the entire balance sale consideration. According to him, there are no grounds for allowing rescission in the circumstances. I have considered the submission as above. Section 28 of the Specific Relief Act relied on by the revision petitioners reads as follows: rescission in certain circumstances of contracts for the sale or lease of immovable property, the specific performance of which has been decreed. Where in any suit a decree for specific performance of a contract for the sale or lease of immovable property has been made, the purchaser or lessee does not, within the period allowed by the decree or such further period as the court may allow, pay the purchase money or other sum which the court has ordered him to pay. The vendor or lessor may apply in the same suit in which the decree is made to have the contract rescinded, and on such application the court may, by order, rescind the contract either so far as regards the party in default altogether as the justice of the case may require. Where a contract is resigned under subsection, the court shall direct the purchaser or the lessee, if he has obtained the possession of the property under the contract, to restore such possession to the vendor or lessor, and may direct payment to the vendor or lessor of all the rents and profits which have accrued in respect of the property from the date on which the possession was so obtained by the purchaser or lessee until the restoration of possession to the vendor or lessor, and if the justice of the case so requires, the refund of any sum paid by the vendor or the lessee as earnest money or deposit in connection with the contract. If the purchaser or lessee pays the purchase money or other sum which he is ordered to pay under the decree within the period referred to in subsection 1, the court may, on the application made in the same suit, award the purchaser or lessee such further relief as he may be entitled to, including in appropriate cases all or any of the following reliefs, namely: a. The execution of a proper conveyance or lease by the vendor or lessor. B. The delivery of the possession or partition and separate possession of the property on the execution of such conveyance or lease. 4. No separate suit in respect of any relief which may be claimed under this section shall lie at the instance of a vendor, purchaser, lessee, or lessor, as the case may be. The cost of any proceedings under this section shall be in the discretion of the court.